So on that note, this one we're just going to gradually waken up as if it was awakening from spring. That's the thought process behind it. So it's a bit stretchy, but we're starting with Brahmari breath, which I did ages ago at one of the pop-ups. Not one we use very often. Can make you feel a bit self-conscious. It's a bit like the mantras. You either get it or you feel a little bit strange, but it's much easier doing it on your own in your own house and rather than in a studio. It's very easy and very simple. It's the humming black bee breath, which that's why I used it. I thought bees, very spring-like. There's a lot of bumblebees here already. So all we do is put our thumbs over our ears. Don't do that till I've told you what to do and you won't know what you're doing. So we pop our thumbs to close our ears off. Other fingers, there are placements for it, but it's basically just on your index finger. Normally we close the eyelids gently and pop the index finger over, and then you just place your fingers down across your face. No nostril closing, both nostrils are open. So just settle your fingers somewhere on your face, thumbs in the ear. It's breathing in through both nostrils for 4, and then we breathe out. Same thing through the nostrils, but as we do so, we produce the noise, the sound of Om, it's kind of like just in the back of your throat with your mouth closed, which comes out like a sort of buzzing noise, hence the bee name. So it's making that sort of humming noise in the back of your throat. And if you think of the little word Om, O-M, just not as a chant, but just as a sound, that will help you to make the humming sound. And it's a very, very calming breath, and it really hits on your parasympathetic nervous system, your calming down system. Really good for anxiety. Not one to do in front of people because it makes you feel a little bit conscious, obviously, but really good for concentration as well. So if you're on your own, it's one to use. Okay, so we're going to do, if you can count yourself, because you can hear me. So if you count 5 or 6, let's say 6 breaths on our own, in 4, out 4 with the humming noise in the back of the throat, and start to feel the vibrations through your head as you do it, okay? So prepare and get ready, do your own counting and stop when you've done your 6th. Okay, so when we're ready, we breathe in for 4, both nostrils, and then we gently hum it out. Breathe in for 4 through the nostrils again. Continue in through the nostrils, out with the humming sound. And wait out. Okay, I can see Anne's finished. I'm watching to see when your hands come down. Lots of us, either we've stalled, some of us in the videos, or they've got longer breaths than the rest of us. It's a challenge. Caroline, very good, long breaths. Well done. I think everybody's back with us. So that one you have to do quite a few rounds before you kind of get into it, because as I say, even on your own, it makes you feel a little bit self-conscious. But the longer you do it, the more it vibrates all around your jawline and around your throat. And your throat is where the vagus nerve is, and that's what's linked to our parasympathetic nervous system. So when that's acted on and when the vibrations go through it, that's what switches on all these channels down to tell us to rest and digest and to calm us, basically. It's also very focusing. So there is medical sort of scientific background to doing that as well. Just one to practice when you're on your own. If you're not into the chanting, you might prefer that one. Okay, so we're going to start to waken up now. So take our hands across our shoulders, first of all. So cross arms across the chest. I'm going to just move my video because it's out the light and I can't quite see what I'm doing here. I need to see myself. There you go. Okay, so arms crossed across your chest, hands just resting on your shoulders, legs crossed in front of us, sitting on a block on the edge of it if we need to. Just find that, first of all, find your posture, draw your tummies in towards your navel to spine rather, lift your heart up a little bit, reach up through your crown, reach down through your sit bones, and then roll over. So tuck your chin, make yourself as small as you can. So draw your tummies back and in, give yourself a bit more space. Roll right forward as far as is comfortable without your hands there to support you. Make yourself really small. Breathe in, exhale. On the next in-breath, roll back up from your sit bones and just gently lift up until your arms, you can lift your elbows towards shoulder height. And then exhale back into our cat back, really. So we're rolling up through the spine, lifting the heart up, lifting the tummy back. Elbows now facing towards the floor, chin tucked. Inhale, roll back up slowly, moving through sit bone and stacking the vertebrae, and lifting the elbows this time a little bit higher, just opening up gently under the armpits. And then same thing, exhale down, inhale up. As you inhale, the next time we're going to take the elbows up as high as we can to open the front of the chest, so it gets a little bit in front of your face here. So lift your elbows up, still hands on the shoulder, really feel that in the underneath of the forearm. Roll down again, exhale. And this time, as we roll up, we take the hands off the shoulders and we open them up and stretch out as wide as you can, looking up a little bit of a back bend on the inhale, and then bring the hands back down to heart center. I'm going to uncross the legs, I suggest you do, and recross on the other side, just to give us the opposite balance. Going to do the same thing. And try and remember which way you've put the hands that time. So whichever way you had them, cross them the other way. That feels wrong. Whichever one feels wrong is the right one. Same thing, hands on shoulders, same thing, 3 rolls, just lifting the elbows a little bit higher each time as we come up, and then in the 4th one, we really open up. So draw the tummy in, lift up through the sit bones, exhale and roll down into your cat back, elbows coming down, chin tucked, long back and neck, rolling through the vertebrae. Inhale, gently lift up from the sit bones, remember, move from the tailbone, lifting up until you can just lift the elbows gently in front of you to about shoulder height, and then roll back down on the exhale, making yourself as small as you can, lifting up through the tummy, moving up towards the spine, and then inhale. This time we're coming up and we're just opening up a little bit more so you can feel your armpits start to open, lifting the elbows and rolling forward again. Draw the tummy back, move into the sit bones, take the sit bones back if you feel you're losing your balance and coming forward. Make sure they're grounded. Inhale, we're lifting up and we're taking the elbows as high as we can comfortably to open up the armpits as if you were having a big stretch, and then rolling back down. And the next inhale, we're rolling up and we're opening the arms up, reaching up above us, really opening up and wakening up and growing. And then release, hands come down through heart center, back to the start. Okay, so then we're going to cross our arms now across us and catch behind our shoulders. And we're going to do the same thing, but we'll roll forward and then we'll just open our arms gently the first time. Second time, we're going to open them and put in a bit of a back bend. And third time, we're going to take them right behind us as far as we can, okay? So it's more of the opening here, the growing, okay? So hands behind the shoulders, each exhale, we're rolling forward still. So inhale long through sit bones to crown, draw the tummies in and roll forward gently. Might be slightly different sensation this time of balance. So take the sit bones back, ground them to make sure you don't fall. We're rolling up on the inhale, And we're opening up, just gently opening the arms at shoulder height, reaching through the fingers. Take the webbings far away from you. And then exhale, back forward. Wrap the arms around your shoulders. Roll forward. Inhale, press into the sit bones, start to move from the bottom of the spine. This time we're putting in a bit of a back bend by opening up really quite wide. Take the elbows and the back of the palms back. And then forward again in the exhale. And this time, arms behind us, roll up. Look up slightly, keep the chin tucked, but look up, take the hands as far behind you as you can. They may go down the way this time, back of the hands towards each other. And then bring the hands back to heart center. Uncross legs, recross again, and try and remember which way you had your hands, your arms that time. So whichever one feels wrong, cross it the other way. Try and catch behind your shoulder blades each time if you can. Breathe in, lift up through the sit bones, draw the tummy in through the back of the neck, lift it up, and then exhale into your cat back. Keep the sit bones grounded, move through the vertebrae from the neck downwards as we go down. Inhale, we roll back up slowly. It's just that gentle chest opening, lifting out, stretching through the arms, through the fingers. Exhale, arms come back together as we start to roll down again. Still the same crossing, we'll keep the same crossing. Inhale this time, sit back on the sit bones, roll up through the vertebrae. Take the arms a little bit further back this time, elbows back, back of the palms back. Open up the chest, bit of a back bend going on here. Draw the arms back again, refold. Exhale forward. Last time, this time as we inhale, we're pushing into the sit bones, we're really growing, lifting up through the crown, opening out the arms, taking them back behind us, pressing the backs of the hands together towards each other, opening the chest, and then releasing back to heart center, and release the hands down. Take yourself off of whatever you're sitting, but keep it handy for later for your head. And then come forward onto your mat and into child's pose. So sit right back first of all, sit up and sit back first. Make sure your heels and bottom are connected as much as you can. If you feel you need your brick again or your block for your forehead here, then bring it forward now. And then take yourself down into child's pose, but take your elbows right back beside your knees. So a little bit of a really curled up child's pose here. Okay, so this is just 3 gentle movements with the arms opening the shoulders. So we breathe in and exhale. As you breathe in next time, take your arms forward into our middle child's pose. So not open arms, your forearms are still on the floor. And exhale. Inhale, we're lengthening right forward now into extended child's pose, but hands are still flat on the floor. Exhale. And then inhale, and we reach up onto the fingertips, extending really as much as we can here. And then exhale, bring the elbows back towards the side of the knees. So there's sort of 4 movements there now, each inhale. Let's do that one again. So begin with an inhale, exhale. And on your first inhale then, we're moving the arms forward. So we're into a sort of normal child's pose at forearms on the floor. Exhale. Inhale, we're reaching them forward into extended, but still palms to the floor. Exhale. Next inhale, we're moving them right forward and come up into our fingertips. Find that little space under your palms. Exhale. Draw the elbows back towards you. One more time. Let's do that one more time now. We know hopefully what we're doing. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, move the forearms forward, sticking to the floor. Exhale. Inhale, move the arms forward and lift up the forearms so you're in extended but palms on the floor. Exhale. And then in the next inhale, reach as far as you can, come right up onto your fingertips, dome the palms. And then exhale, draw the elbows back towards you. Gently sit yourself slowly back up. And then move along the mat and come down onto your side body. And this is where you need your brick or whatever you've got for your head. We're doing an opening here. So I find my neck hurts otherwise, unless I have my head at a certain height. Some of you might be comfortable putting your head down, but it does mean you get a big extension on your neck if you do that. We're trying to keep the head sort of in line with the spine, really. Bend your knees up in front of you as if you were sitting on a chair, feet flexed. Take the hands out in front of us, stack the shoulders, stack the hands, stack the fingers. We're just doing our arm openers here. So we're going to circle our hands one way above our head and then come back. And we turn, our palm is forward to start, and above your head, it will roll over onto the back of your hand. So we're opening up through the armpit. So when you're ready, don't worry too much about the breath, just circle the hand as it comes up above your head. Turn your hand so that the back of your hand then comes on towards the floor, and we're opening up the shoulder behind us in a big circle, sweeping it round and across our thigh. Now your palm's facing down, and it comes back in front of us near the radiator. So one more time that way. So draw the arm round, turn the back of the palm down, open up the upper chest and the upper shoulder on the left-hand side. As you come round, you'll then want to turn your hand back towards facing the floor with the palm and bring it back over your hip. Back to stack them. Let's go the other way now. So we're drawing our elbow back on the left arm and we're opening up the chest, taking the hand behind us, back of the hand on the floor as you then sweep it round above your head. Turn the palm facing down above your head and roll it back to the front. Do that one again. So take the elbow back, open the chest, open the arm behind you, grow. Take the back of the hand above your head. Oops. Turn the palm to the floor and roll through. That's really a nice opener for the front of the body. Okay, so staying stacked that way, we're going to do some leg and arm openers here. So the upper arm now, we want to fold it as if you were in a kind of goalpost arm. You might need to use your brick in front of your face. We're just going to do hip and elbow openers here. So when you're ready, we're going to breathe in. And we're going to lift up the top elbow and open up the bottom thigh. So try and keep your feet stacked together and just roll your hips open. So it's inhale, lift your elbow, open up your upper arm, open up your left thigh, rolling that top hip back down. So you're squeezing your left hip towards the right hip to open your inner thigh. Just opening the left side body. One more. And then we're going to take our left hand and pop it on top of our left hip. And this time we're going to open the left leg and the left arm, stretching out. So this time both will move away from you in the inhale. And we'll reach out with the arm, we'll bring the back in so the hand comes back onto the hip. So 3 of those, inhale out, really reach through fingertips, point the toes, reach through the toes. Inhale back together, opening the side body again. Out, try and restart the knees when you come back in. Keep the foot off the floor at hip height. One more, inhale out. Exhale in. Now we're going to take the leg away from us. Extend once more, arm extends above the head. Keep the foot off the floor and the hand off the floor. As you inhale, we're going to lift the leg and lift the arm up towards each other. Try and keep the body stacked. So try and just contract the side body to bring them up. Exhale out. Take it nice and slowly. Think of the armpit to hip movement here on the left-hand side as you contract and lift. One more. And release. And then roll over and come on to the other side. I'll come the ends. Do the same on the other side. Always easier the second side because we know what we're doing, hopefully. Okay, so make sure you're stacked, knees, ankles, feet flexed, arms at first are out in front of you, shoulders stacked, so draw the bottom one under to make sure it's stacked, hands on top of each other. We're circling above the head the first move, so when you're ready, begin. We'll take 2 circles both ways. Turn the hand, open up. Notice if this is different from the other side. Maybe it's stretchier, maybe it's tighter, much tighter in my case. Sweep the hand back forward. Make the big circle. Grow as much as you can as you do it this time. Really reach through your fingertips. Reach out through your armpit. Take it slowly. Let your joint move slowly. And then come back to the front. And then we're taking the elbow back this time and we're opening out the chest first. So we're taking the elbow back, we're rolling the chest open, taking the arm out behind us, back of the palm to the floor. You can look that way if you want to go with it a little bit further. Reach out through the fingers, feel that opening through your armpit. Growing. Turn the hand, bring it back to start. Elbow goes back again. Put in a little bit of a twist here, let your head go with it again. As I say, open your arm out so the back of the palms to the floor. Sweep the hand as high as you can in a bigger circle as you can over your head and back to the side. We're taking the hip and arm openers here. So fold the top arm. And we're keeping the feet together, remember, at the ankles if you can, as you open, rather than just lift the leg. We're keeping the feet and rolling the opening. That's the sensation. Okay, so when you're ready, inhale, lift and open. Without trying to roll the body, try and keep the body stacked. So it's just your shoulder and your hip joint that you're moving at here. Inhale, open. It's not a huge movement through the hips. Doesn't feel that you're doing enough actually, so that's why people lift the legs. One more, both. But you're doing more by squeezing the butt actually to open up your hips there. Okay, so then we're taking the hand onto the hip and we're stretching out with the top leg and the arm, and we're thinking of that contracting armpit to hip feeling. Okay, so when you're ready, inhale out, reach with fingers and toes. Oh no, sorry, this isn't contracting, sorry, wrong one. Bring it back together, we're extending here. Okay, so reach away, extend, really reach through, open up the armpit, open up the waist, maybe lift your waist a little bit off the floor as you do that, as we did last week. Grow as much as you can. Think of making yourself another inch taller on your right hand side. And then hand back to hip. And then extend one more time and hold it there. Hold the hand off the floor, hold the foot off the floor. This is the contraction. Watch what you're doing before we start. Have you rolled back? Do you need to restack shoulders, hips? Draw the tummy in, support your core. Okay, so then we want to breathe in and contract armpit to hip, lifting both leg and arm. So really make sure you're stacked, that you're not leaning, that your leg and arm are definitely coming up to meet each other here as you contract the side body. Might not quite touch, that's fine. For some reason I've turned the back of my hand so that I'm now taking my hand up backwards, but then that's a different movement for the arm. One more each, leg and arm, lifting the waist off the floor if you can, try and keep the core strong. And then release back to the start. And then what we're doing now, we're coming onto our back, so release, get rid of the brick. I'm going to change ends again. No, I'm not. Okay, so we're just going to do a couple of snow angels here. So take yourself out into 5-star. So legs as wide as is comfortable, feet flexed as if you were standing up, hands out in a diagonal position out from your shoulders, so reaching out in a 5-star, reaching through the crown, drawing the tummy in, And then we're just going to snow angel. So we'll bring our arms down and bring our legs together. So hands come to hips and then stretch out, arms come above our head. As if you were making those snow angels in the snow. Great fun. Wish I was. Do a couple more of those. And then this time when you stretch out, come back down, arms come together, legs come together to your body, and then curl up, knees come to chest, and draw your shins down with your hands, or your hands in the back of your thighs. Sorry, asanas basically. Take the legs away again. Take another couple of snow angels. After the second one, when the arms and the legs come down, just drawing your tummy in, connect your core, lift your knees up, draw them in towards your chest, hands on shins or thighs, exhaling in, and then inhale, both feet come down to the floor, and then we stretch them away. This time we're going to take our knees in towards us, one at a time or together, whichever feels right for your lower back. We're going to come up into hedgehog. So hands to shins or back of thighs, tuck your chin, lengthen the back of the neck, engage your tummy muscles, and roll up from the middle of your chest. Think of lifting up your head rather than from the top of your neck into hedgehog. Draw your shins towards your thighs towards your chest. Okay, so from here we're going to inhale, we're going to lengthen, and exhale and come back to this. So if it's too strong for you, pop your head on the floor and just do inhale, bringing your knees towards you and extending. Okay, so otherwise engage the core muscles. Inhale, lengthen, so both arms go away from you, both legs go away from you. Don't need to be as far as you can. Keep your knees bent if you need to, that's fine. Draw back in as you exhale. Who said it was going to be easy this morning? Inhale out, lengthen, fingertips, toes, keep the heels off the floor, palms off the floor if you can. Inhale, exhale in, sorry. Inhale, lengthen one more time, really reaching. Exhale in. And then slowly release from the center of your chest, roll your head back down. And place your feet back on the floor. Okay, so here we're just going to take our right leg into our chest. Keep the left leg out, it's your balance, so it can be straight or it can be out to the side. Catch a hold of the front of your shins, either side of your shins with both hands, and then flex your foot and draw it up towards the ceiling. So we're coming into half happy baby here. So this is an easier way to come into it. So you've got both hands on your shin, might be on your thigh if that's more comfortable, but you're flexing your foot and drawing it up towards the ceiling. Knees still bent. And then you inhale and then exhale, draw your knee down towards your chest. Inhale, release it slightly, open up the hip flexor. Exhale, draw it down towards your chest. Inhale, release it slightly. Exhale, draw it down towards your chest. If you can, catch your big toe with your left hand, so it's a diagonal here. Oh, no, sorry, wrong hand. Try and catch, no, it is your left hand, sorry. Left hand, catch your big toe on your right foot. So you're putting a nice big stretch here now through your left arm, and your shoulders probably come about off the floor a little bit. If you're there and that's as far as you want to go, that's fine. Otherwise, try and just gently lift up through the sole of the foot. Imagine that center spot we found last week. Try and lift it up as if somebody's hooking your foot up towards the ceiling and lengthening out through your leg. Your knee can stay quite bent if it's more comfortable. Otherwise, reach up through the heel. Try and move your leg away from your torso, opening up into big toe pose, supine. So this is a really quite a big one, so don't force it this morning.
Your legs bent, you're still getting benefit out of it. You're opening up shoulders, feet, hips. And then release the leg down, let go of the big toe, pop that foot to the floor, stretch the leg away, stretch the left arm away, the right leg away, and have a full stretch diagonally. And then we come to the other side. So decide what the right leg's doing. It's your counterbalance, bring the left leg in, catch it behind the thighs, just have a little bit of a squeeze first of all, and then walk your hands up to the side of your shins. Flex the foot, bring it to parallel to the ceiling. And then draw the knee towards your chest. Inhale, release a little bit. Exhale, draw the knee towards the chest. Inhale, release. Exhale, in. And then catch hold of the big toe if you can. Know where you're going now, so decide how far you want to go with it. If you only stay here, you're fine. You open up the sole of the foot and you reach the right shoulder back towards the floor. If you're going to take your foot up, you don't need to do that. So just gently moving the foot up towards the ceiling, opening up the back of the leg. Feel that big stretch, that growth behind your knee and all the opening of the muscles there that's stretching through. No locking of knees. Try and move the thigh away from your belly. Reaching out, keep the foot flexed and breathe. And then release that leg in, release the foot to the floor. Take your diagonal lengthways stretch again. So left leg out, right arm up. Feel that right across the body, connecting from the pelvic joint right across to your armpit on your right side as you stretch. And then release. And then take yourself into Shavasana. Have a reach through the sole of the feet again. Find those two little spots in the center. Draw them away from you. Flex your feet. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Roll the shoulders under your back. Open the front of your collarbones. Extend your chest up the way. Have a little bit of a back bend. Lift up through the chest. Reach out through the sole of the feet. Reach out through the crown. Squeeze your glutes. Contract the back body. And then release everything slowly, slowly, slowly. Melt it into the floor. Release the feet. Let the feet just flop. And find your breath again, just for a couple of breaths. Inhale, exhale. And exhale, try and release everything. Remember that in order to grow, we have to be prepared to plant the seeds for change. Just enjoy a couple of moments melting here into this ground, into the earth below you, where all that energy comes from, for all the flowers that grow, all the grass that grows too tall, all the trees that grow, all that energy hidden beneath you. And when you're ready, just have a bit of a wriggle and a stretch, waking up again any muscles that have released themselves too much. Take your time and roll over to the side, open your eyes, find your breath, and then come back up to sitting cross-legged to finish our practice. Just to finish, let's just take a few shoulder rolls. Again, making them bigger as we do. Releasing off the back body a little bit. Maybe have a couple of neck rolls as well. Reach up with the hands, breathe in, lift up, grow as much as you can. Lift up through your core, down your sit bones, up through your crown, lift up through the fingertips, through the webbing of the fingers. And then just flop the hands back down. Hands come together, Anjali Mudra.
gradually wakened up, hopefully this morning, ready for another week. Thank you for your practice. Nice to see everybody back on the mat, and see you tonight for Nidra, or tomorrow morning for something a little bit stronger, but it will be on the same lines as we've done today. So thank you everybody, and namaste.